Hey guys, and welcome to the Week 3 update for Monster Madness 2026. And I've got to say, this was a crazy week of matchups. We had a lot of close matchups. We had some very different matchups I did not expect to result in the way they did in the poll. And there was a big upset. So this was a crazy week. But let's break this down and look at the individual episodes. The first one was Kong versus Karathan, which ended up 80-20. This was closer in the vote, but then it kind of was lopsided towards Kong. But still, it was 80-20, and Kong ended up advancing. Definitely think that the location had a big factor there. That's at least what I thought in my breakdown. And then the next matchup is Slattern versus Mothra that ended up 67-33. So pretty close. Slattern did get the win. I really do think this location made this very unique, but I did think Slattern was going to get the win. Mothra did battle in the vote, but Slattern still got the majority and ended up advancing. And then the next matchup was Shimo versus Kronos that I think would have been very close. And I think that this poll was kind of going back and forth. It was going where it could have been 80-20, but instead it ended up 90-10, 90%. Shimo ended up advancing. I really think he would have put up a better fight here. I think Kronos should have probably been closer in the vote, but wasn't. Shimo continues her reign on this bracket. And then we had the big one, Rodan versus Surtur, which was a matchup that I really thought Rodan was going to be screwed in this. I thought Surtur had this for sure, but the post was 50-50 for a while and then ended up 60-40, which was very surprising. I do not know what people saw here. I don't know what path they saw. The only one I mentioned, the only way Rodan could win in this matchup, the only way I mentioned is if he kind of flew in, did a suicide bomb, and just tried to take his head off, take the crown off. But I am very shocked by the results of this poll. And it ended up being the death of Surtur. Surtur ended up losing, and Rodan advances, which totally blows up this corner of the bracket. Now Shimo faces Rodan in the next matchup, which is very unique. And let's look at these matchups. So now we have Kong versus Slattern in Egypt in the next matchup, and we have Shimo versus Rodan in Tokyo. So very cool matchups. We see Kong go back to his classic Egypt location where he beat Godzilla, and then we see Shimo versus Rodan. Definitely loving these matchups, but make sure you let me know down below what you think of this week's matchups, and stay tuned next week where we will figure out the right side of the bracket. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.